Hi. Environmental sustainability. The ability to maintain natural resources without compromising our future generation needs, especially for the environmental natural resources. So, the environmental sustainability means to maintain the natural resources as it is for the future generation needs. So we have how we are maintaining the environmental pollutions, how we are taking the natural resources, how we are exploiting the natural resources. This all into it's all come to the picture. The sustainability for nowadays the health and safety and the environment field, the sustainability is one of the major areas. Most of the corporate companies and all the organizations they have to consider. So this sustainability nowadays, being a career side, the persons having the sustainability manager, sustainability engineer, and officers are recruited, and they have to maintain the three things: the social, economic, and environment. These three standards, how they are maintaining to make a sustainable development for any organizations. So the sustainability is very very important to control the climate change, global warming, and all the natural resources deficit and its various impacts. So the environmental impacts is a major thing in the world. In future, all the risks are the environmental risks. So how we are maintaining the environment part for our future generation is very very important. So water's getting exhausted, then good air getting exhausted, and then soil getting exhausted. So it's our responsibility to maintain this soil in a fertile manner for our future generations. It's our responsibility to maintain the air, pure air for our future generations. It's our responsibility to maintain the all the natural resources as it is for future generations. So, being a health and safety, the environment part, the sustainability, one of the areas you have to add it. The safety professionals in future they have to more role on sustainabilities. So nowadays already companies are started to recruit the sustainability officers, engineers and managers. But the role is very clear to control the pollution, to control the natural resources, how they are using, and then to control the various upcoming activities, industrial activities. These all activities, when you are maintaining properly, then only you can maintain proper sustainability. Thinking about the alternative energy resources like wind power and then solar powers and the plants powers, and then waste, how we can maintain the waste, how we can think about the waste generations, and plastics, how we can think for alternatives of plastics, and radiations, what all things are affecting the natural resources and biodiversity of the planet. So it have to we need to think about sustainability about the natural resources and also the biodiversity of the organisms. We should not disturb the food chains. When you disturb the one food chain, or when you people destroy one type of organisms, it leads to big problem in biodiversity. The earth is alive only by means of biodiversity. If somewhere the human being disturbing the biodiversity, it leads to big issue in the environmental part. So, our ancestors, our forefathers, they all thought that we have to maintain the sustainability for our future generation. That's why we are enjoying these all natural resources without any compromising things. The same thing we have to do for our future generations for the sustainability manner to prevent the environmental pollution should not impact or should not make any effect on biodiversity and clean green environment, and also it will help the socially and economically. That will be the our goal, being a sustainability person, being a HSE person. So we need to think about the sustainability of building the greeneries, and then reducing the usage of pesticides, and reducing the hazardous materials, reducing the waste generations, hazard waste generations, and then useful way of think of alternative energy resources, plastic free environment, and also the helping the all the organisms grow in the environment, and it should not be impact on animals or plants. So if we made it anything change in the in their ecosystem, then it leads to the future generations problems. So, being a responsible HSE, EHS, safety professionals, and sustainability people, to maintain the sustainability, you need to think about the reduce the environmental pollutions, and then think about the waste generations alternatives, think about the natural resources, maintaining the natural resources like fuels. When we are keeping on using the fuel, then one time it will be exhausted, then there is no alternative fuel. So that's why we need to think about wind energy, we need to think about the solar energy, we need to think about the sea wind. You know, these all things alternatives. When we are keeping on using it, then what will happen, the natural resources getting maintained for our future generations. Water, nowadays we are getting water, we are using and wasting, but when you are keeping on wasting the water, future generation will not get the water, and then it will their problem. We should not think of it's their problem, because it's our responsibility. What our ancestor did, for they are preserved and maintained these natural resources for us. The same thing, it's a same reaction we have to do for our future generations, to maintain the environment as it is. That will help them to make a good ecosystem environment. Nowadays, due to the industrialization, the air pollution and fresh oxygen getting defeated, or it's very, some of the areas getting the worst oxygen levels to breathe. So if we keeping on doing these things, then it will leads to the suffocation disease, and one day the oxygen percentage getting reduced, then cylinders may be used. So these are the problems arising every world in the world. When it comes to the industrialization, sustainability is a big question. So being a HSE people, you need to think about the environmental sustainability, and reduce the environmental pollution, and think about natural alternative resources, and think about the waste generation reductions, think about the plastic ban, and think about the biodiversity. So these things help you to develop. And also social side, we can, socially the people need to think about equality for the all the, we can say environment, economy, and social. The social part is, as we said, equity, equal status for the equal natural resources for the all the people. Okay, there is no downtread. And also for economy, the economy also needs to be equal, and it should not be one sided, and it's our responsible to maintain the economy for all people, not one sided. If economy equal, there is no pollution downtrends. One person doing the pollution, he is upper class. One person not doing the pollution, he is a lower class. But if the economy is equal, then the pollution is less, waste generation is less, and also the equal, all the people are treated as an equal. So that leads to the equal environmental standards to maintain the earth as it is for future generations. The social, economic, and environment, three things needs to be think about the sustainability. This sustainability is one of the major areas everyone needs to concern for our future generations environmental needs and their daily routine life, and also their livelihood, and also how they are living, how they are progressing, how they are maintaining natural resources, how they are thinking about biodiversity. All the things depends upon what we are maintaining now. So always think about environmental sustainability and promote environmental sustainability throughout your areas, and wherever you located your organization. Think about environmental sustainability. That will be your goal, that will be future plan to avoid any environmental risks for future generations. Thank you.